So as Sandra mentioned, I'm going to start sharing my screen. There you go. So as Sandra mentioned, my name is Marina. I'm part of Northeastern's International Enrollment Management team. So it's a pleasure to be here today to talk to you about applying to graduate programs in the U.S. So this webinar is dedicated to Spanish candidates who are interested in pursuing a master's degree, graduate certificate, or a PhD program in the United States. So we will conduct this session in English, as you have noticed. And if you have questions, as Sandra mentioned, please post them on the Q&A section, and we will address all questions at the end of the session. So during the session, we will provide a general overview of the application process. It's important to mention that admissions requirements and criteria, they vary by university, college, and program that you are applying for. So please remember to check your program of interest website for more information on specific requirements. So for those who are not familiar with Northeastern, Northeastern is a Tier 1 research university that offers a unique education model that integrates rigorous academics with experiential learning. Northeastern is currently ranked among the top 60 U.S. national universities and #1 for co-op and internships. So over 100 years, Northeastern has been a world leader in cooperative education or co-op, which is an experiential learning program that we'll be talking about in a few minutes. And the university has over 3,000 employer partners around the globe and more than 10,000 students attending co-op each year. So we offer undergraduate and graduate programs across our campuses in Boston, which is the main campus that you can see on the the top left-hand top. But we also offer master's degrees across our regional campuses in the U.S., where you're going to find them in Seattle, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Arlington, Oakland, and Portland in Maine. Aside from that, we also offer master's degrees in Canada, in Vancouver, Toronto, and also London. So let's start with talking about the benefits of studying in the United States. So first of all, one of the main advantages of studying abroad is that you can aim for a highly ranked world university. So what does it mean? It means access to better academic education, to universities that have great facilities, up-to-date academic resources. Besides, the number of programs which are available is much higher than what we're used to in other countries, including Spain. So you'll find a great variety of programs to choose from. At Northeastern, we offer more than 200 graduate programs. Also, F1 students, so that's the visa that you are applying for. So F1 students are eligible to work on campus while attending classes. So the work does not need to be related to the student's field of study. You can work up to 20 hours a week when school's in session, and 40 hours a week during holidays. So that involves work done in the university premises, like in the library, laboratories, residential buildings, offices, cafeteria, etc. Also, we have cooperative education. So co-op provides students with the opportunity to explore or refine career paths. So through co-op, students can make valuable industry connections, can network, can acquire the skills and knowledge they need to succeed. It happens by alternating semesters of academic studies with periods of full-time work. So upon completion of one academic year at Northeastern, students can apply for co-op, and most positions are full-time and paid. Also, upon completion of your graduate degree at Northeastern, you may apply for post-completion optional practical training, or OPT. So that's a work authorization that also helps you apply your classroom learning to the real world. The duration of your work employment authorization will not exceed 12 months unless you complete a STEM degree. So for those who are not familiar with STEM, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics. So if you apply for a STEM program in the US, you are eligible to apply for a 24-month extension on your OPT. And how to choose the right program. So first of all, you should consider your career goals. So ask yourself how the program can help you achieve your goals, your expectations towards the program. Make sure that the program that you choose is aligned to your career interests. So you should consider your career pathways. Also allocate 6 months or so prior to application deadlines. It takes time to research and prepare both academically and financially to attend a graduate program overseas. So also you may want to prepare like a calendar of deadlines because it is essential that you follow the university's deadline. Submitting an application past the deadline may lead you to start the program in a later intake. Also check the program's curriculum for any credits that you need to take towards earning that degree to check again if they align with your career goals. And check the program's requirements. Do I need to have any academic background in this specific field of studies? What's the minimum level of English required? Are there any prerequisite courses that I need to complete before applying? And also, once again, keep in mind that requirements and criteria, they may vary according to the university, college, and program that you're applying for. So, of course, be mindful of the start dates of the program. So you'll find that some programs start in September, others they will start in January or April or July. And I missed that one. So what's the learning model that you want? Are you looking for an online program or on ground? Just bear in mind that international students cannot take fully online courses when in the United States on an F1 visa. So if you're taking an online course, you should complete it from Spain. This is really important. So let's move on to general admissions requirements. So the objective of the application is not only to show the admissions office your past achievements, it's also to present your story using your own words. So just keep that in mind for what we are talking in the next few minutes. So to start your application, once again, you need to review the university's website. So when you start your application, you're going to see that some documents which are required are just standard documents. The ones which other students might also have the same results as you. And we call those hard data. So hard data, they includes your transcripts, test results, and resume. So as an international student, you also need to remember that you will need to submit an official English exam, which usually can be IELTS Academic, TOEFL, IBT, PT, or Duolingo. But once again, please check with the university of your choice which tests they accept. On the other hand, there are a few documents which you have total control of that no other applicant will have the same document as you. And those we call soft data. So those are the statement of purpose recommendation letters. These are the documents that will differentiate you from other candidates. You may have the same GPA, you may have the same TOEFL scores, you may have worked for the same company, but you will not write the same statement of purpose or provide the same recommendation letters. So make sure for the resume, make sure that it is updated and optimized for your application. You should tailor your resume according to the program that you want to pursue. Your experience should also always be in chronological order, starting with your current position. And you should include articles, research that you may have done, any awards or honors that you received in the past. For letters of recommendation, they should come from professors, academic coordinators, former supervisors or current supervisors, your boss. So it can be both professional or academic, but it should never come from a family member or a friend. This is very important. Even if you work for your father, he should not be the one sending the recommendation letter. Just make sure to choose strong recommenders who know you well and can point out your strengths. Always discuss with the recommenders before submitting their contact information, and also provide them information about the university that you are applying for, the program that you are applying for. Give them time to prepare the recommendation. Sometimes we just submit the applications and then we ask the recommenders to send their recommendation forms, and they usually takes them for like 10 days to actually complete it. So remember, just don't ask them for a letter on one day and expect them to have it ready by the next day, but also communicate with them. Share a deadline that you would like them to follow. So the statement of purpose. So that's one of the most important components of your application, and that's why we are giving more attention to it during this presentation. So a statement of purpose or a personal statement, it is a critical piece of a graduate school application. It tells the admissions committee who you are, what your academic and professional interests and goals are, how you will add value to the program that you are applying for. So admissions professionals, they already have your transcripts, they already have your resume, they already have your test scores, so they already have your hard data. So the statement of purpose is your chance to tell your story in your own words. It should be around 500 to 1,000 words, and the statement of purpose should describe your background. It should address your unique features, any soft skills, and also explain about your expectations towards the program. So what are your expectations towards the university? And what are your expectations by completing the program? And how does it relate to the career that you wish to pursue? So when you write the statement of purpose, I just suggest that you start with brainstorming. So you can ask yourself a few questions. Why does this university and program interest me? What are my expectations? How will my unique professional and personal experiences add value to the program? How will completing this degree impact my life? Just ask yourself those questions and start making a draft. So put these answers on a paper, literally. Next, you will want to take these ideas that you have identified during the brainstorming process and plug them into an outline that will guide you through the writing process. So an effective outline of your statement of purpose will start with an introduction about yourself and your background as it relates to the university and program of your choice. Then you will list your relevant experience and accomplishment. You'll talk about your professional goals, the reason why you're interested in that specific university, and how you can add value to their community. And then, of course, you're going to elaborate on that. And then we have the conclusion, which allows you to brief summarize the information presented in the body that emphasizes your qualifications and compatibility with the university and the program of your choice. So an outline like this will give you a roadmap to follow so that your statement of purpose is well organized and concise. Make sure to tailor your essays accordingly. Do not submit a statement of purpose to one university with another university's name on it, for instance. We have seen that in the past. Do not, let's say you are applying for the MS in Project Management program at one university and you submit the same recommendation to Northeastern and you are applying actually for the MBA program. So make sure that you tailor your letters accordingly. And when you begin drafting content, make sure to provide insight on what drives you. Demonstrate your interest in the university by addressing unique features of the program that interests you the most. So get to know the program and get to know the university that you're applying for. This is really, really important. Just be yourself. Of course, it helps to keep your audience in mind while you're writing. Remember that you are writing to the admissions committee, but don't forget to let your personality also shine through. It is important to be authentic when writing your letter, to show that the admissions committee who you are and why your unique perspective will add value to the program. And of course, take your time. If you don't feel creative, that's fine. Just stop there, do something else, go grab a coffee, go see a movie, watch Netflix, and then go back to writing. So now that you have submitted your application, what are the next steps? So as I have mentioned before, you should see all the required documents and you should be aware of the deadlines. All right, so I'm not sure where you lost me, so I'm just starting over with tips and suggestions, if that's fine.
That's great, thank you.
All right. So as I've mentioned before, do your research, review the website repeatedly. You should be aware of the university that you're applying for. You should know the program that you're applying for. You should know the city where the university is located. So do a lot of research. Of course, you can use Google. You can use the university's website as well. And also, especially for the statement of purpose, allow time for multiple drafts. Always review your application before submitting it. This is very important. So review grammar, vocabulary, punctuation, review it multiple times. So review it once you're finished, once you're completing it. And then you can also ask someone that you trust to read the statement of purpose, to go through your application before you actually submitted it. Ask for help if you need to narrow your options down. So I do recommend that you connect with the university. So you can explore the university's website. You can attend events like this. Education USA also shared some events that they host. And I do advise you to join those events and just learn from them, and then ask your questions as well. You may also connect with students and alumni. I'm not sure if you are aware of that. Most students are not, but universities usually have student ambassadors. So talking to those students is a really great resource for international students, because you will have the chance to communicate with one student, maybe even from Spain. So attending also sessions like this, you can learn from that. Also, feel free to connect with an academic counselor. You are welcome to connect with us, and also Education USA. So Education USA provides counseling, and reaching out to them can definitely make your life easier, because you will have guidance from a team who has experience and expertise in educational programs in the US. As I mentioned before, tailor your letters accordingly, and always review your application before submitting it. Of course, avoid plagiarism. So plagiarism is basically a violation of intellectual property. It's unethical. Your application will be dismissed. And bear in mind that universities, they have softwares to check for plagiarism. So do not do that. These are just some tips on how to write these documents that we've spoken about. Please feel free to scan these QR codes and also explore Northeastern's graduate blog for further information about different topics. I also encourage you to check Education USA's social media, YouTube channel, and also to check Northeastern's YouTube channel if you want to learn more about the university and applying to graduate programs. This is a very important resource as well. And also, okay, I'm just gonna give you some time to scan these codes. There you go. I will go back to that slide later on then, all right? And these are just some questions that I'm gonna leave you with. Just to make you think about yourself, your accomplishments, and your goals. Bear in mind that universities, they are looking for students who will contribute to the university's community. That includes collaborative thinking, being a constructive member of the class, but it also means participating in research projects, sports, and any activities promoted by the university. So thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure to talk about applying to graduate programs in the US. If you have any questions, please send them through the Q&A section, or you can also write to us at global@northeastern.edu and connect with Education USA advisors as well, because I'm sure that they will be able to guide you through the whole application process.